Hi guys, welcome back to Second Kick Moto and Auto. If you can tell behind me here, I've got the Aero 1100 on the lift, and we're going to do an oil change on it. It's been a long winter, and it's probably been the longest I've ever gone without riding, so I can't wait to get back into it. So I've already run the bike up to temperature, and when I come back, we're going to get right into this oil change. Okay, so here's the bike on the lift, and it's going to get a good wash and cleaning after this. Just to show you, we're on the left side of the bike. Under here, right there, is your drain plug. So it's sort of in reference right near where your floorboard mounts up. If you come down under the bike, just behind the coolant hose. And as you can see back in here, that's your oil filter. And I'll show you on the other side. This is your oil fill, and that is your dipstick to check your oil level. So we're going to start by getting the oil out. You run whatever oil you prefer. I've got actual Honda oil. It takes, according to the manual, it takes about 3.3 liters with filter change. This is 3.7, so you have a little bit left over. And this is the filter. I don't know if I can get you a part number there for those that need to know. There you go. And let's start by getting the oil out of this. And like I said, I ran it. It's actually better if you can take it for a ride, just to get it warmed up and then let it cool down a little bit. Don't want to burn yourself, but get all that oil moving. Get it circulating through the engine, get some of the grime in that, especially if the bike's been sitting out and moved around and into the oil. So when you drain it, it all comes out. So just to show you, I've got a really long extension on here just so I can get out of the way a bit so you can see a bit better, but it's a 17 millimeter on the drain plug. The coolant hose is in the way a little bit, but you can push it up just to get it out of the way. You can't really get a wrench. I mean, maybe if it's up on a different lift, but because I'm on the drive-on lift here, it's too hard to get under with a wrench. And I've already cracked it free, so we're going to start backing it off. I'm actually going to slide my drain pan back under here. See if I can do this without throwing the drain plug into the oil pan, but I probably will because I'm doing this one-handed. Just going to reach in here and see if I can undo this and not burn myself too bad. There we go, and there we go. So the oil is warm, so that's a good sign. Like I say, be careful. You don't want to burn yourself. Have rags handy so you can get up in there and, like I got that little bit on my hand. Sometimes you get more and need to wipe yourself down, so have a rag close by. And that's our oil draining. Next, we're going to come back and try and get this filter loose. I'm going to use two hands here, guys, just to get it cracked free. Use a wrench if you need to, a filter wrench. I put this one on, so I should be able to turn it off because I don't over-tighten them. There's no need to over-tighten. So let me get this cracked free and I'll come back. Okay, guys. And ladies, if there happen to be any watching, I had to wait for the oil to stop draining just because the drain bucket was getting in my way. But this is it was snug, but we got it. I still got it a bit snug here because I didn't want it to drip oil before I got the pan back under. And here's your filter coming out. One thing to be very sure of, And I'm going to show you once I get the filter off here. There we go. Is that the rubber gasket is on the filter, and still double check to make sure there's nothing in here. Reason being, if that gasket, and it happens, sticks to here, what's going to happen is the two gaskets squish together but don't make a seal, and you have an oil sprinkler underneath your bike when you start it up. So always be sure of that. So I've actually got a little filter drain spot on this thing. So I can work this around and out. Yeah. So now I don't have to drop that in with the rest of the oil. We'll let that drip for a minute and then wipe it down. When I come back, we're going to torque the drain plug in. So stand by. So it's always handy, if you have a bike, get the actual manual for it, the service and repair manual, because it's going to give you everything you need, like engine oil, drain plug, if you follow my socket along here, 30 newton meters or 22 foot-pounds. So then you know when it's time to torque this down, get your torque wrench set, and get in there, and we're going to torque it down. So now it's oil filter time, and I'm going to try and do this without making a complete mess. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there. Problem is the way this filter goes on this way, you're going to have a bunch of it rush out. So just put a little bit in there so it's not a complete dry start. Make sure to lube up your gasket. Now we're going to go put it on. Sorry if that made you dizzy. See if I can get a camera shot here and do this and look all at the same time. Be quick about this. So you're going to spin it until it bottoms out. And now this is where a lot of people make a mistake and over tighten this like crazy. You're snug down. Put 1/2 turn on this, and that's all it needs. So there's a quarter. There's a half. And that's all you need. Now when you go to take it off the next time, it's not going to be a holy nightmare. Okay, now we're going to go to the other side of the bike and we're going to start putting oil in. Okay, so I got my oil funnel in the filler tube here, and this calls for 3.1 liters of oil. So if you look down here, this is 4 liters. So we're going to go roughly to that 1 liter mark, just a little below, and then we're going to check it. So this is going to be a two-handed job because I don't want that funnel to dump over and get it all over my chrome and make a mess. So I will come back to you when I've got the oil in. And there you have it. It's just below the 1 liter mark. So I'm going to let that drain in there for a minute. Give the dipstick a quick check, and then we're going to start the bike up, let it cycle, and then recheck the oil to make sure we're good. First off, make sure your bike is in neutral. If you can hear me, what we need to do is be checking for leaks. Make sure your drain plug and your oil filter aren't leaking. Everything appears to be good, so we're going to shut the bike off. And that buzzing you've been hearing is my charger, just because I was playing with the stereo that I have on it. I got a Boss 4-speaker system. Just wanted to make sure that the battery stayed charged up. So we're going to let this settle for a minute, and we're going to recheck our oil. It was bang on when I checked it earlier. Well, that looks a little low, so I think we're going to add some more. That's better. So that actually ended up being about 3.5 liters. And just so you know, bikes vary, but this says to check the oil level with the bike in the upright position, which is the way I have it on the lift. And we'll get this out of here. We'll get the fill cap back on. And normally I would wipe all this down, but I'm going to take the bike out and wash it now. But there you have it. Okay, guys. Actually, let's wipe you down a little bit. Sorry about that. I hope this has helped anybody that's trying to do an oil change on one of these old 1100 Shadows. It should work for most 1100s. I would assume this is the Aero specifically, but you know what? If it's helped you out, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It just helps the channel, and I'm trying to grow and get us to a little better place here. Every like and subscribe is a big help, and I appreciate everybody who is new and is subscribed. If you want to know when I want to put up more content, and I know I'm getting distant between, but I'm working on getting more content out, please tap that bell and you'll know when. Cheers. Thanks for watching.